you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Bulldog here. It is time for the season wrap-up for Season 99, where I decided to let XBOT play my account for the entire season to see how it would perform. If you missed the first video or any of the reports I've been putting out on Twitter, on the Hive blog, I was basically setting out to answer two questions. First off, is XBOT a true competitor to Archmage? This is a new botting service that has emerged. I believe that it can perform at the highest levels of the game, and I want to see if that is actually true. And then number two, can it beat me? Is a bot, have we come far enough in this game, and have the bots become sophisticated enough that a public bot can actually outperform me? Am I at a disadvantage by playing my account myself? Because that's kind of a question that we've gotten into a little bit. And what would that mean for the future of the game if the answer is yes? So let's go look and see the results. How did XBOT perform? Well, here's the final standings on the leaderboard. XBOT finished 53rd. 53rd overall, and was very, very close. We've got 50 right here. It was only 27 rating spots away from taking home a leaderboard prize. This is Modern Champion, by the way, Modern Champion. So it performed essentially at the top of the game, and I was very, very impressed. Absolutely impressed. If we looked at the number of battles, played a lot of battles. 596, won about 51% of the battles. If we compare that to my previous season, I was just outside the top 100 in season 98. I played only 444 battles, and I won 53% of those. So really the big advantage with XBOT was that it simply played more battles. They got an extra 150 battles, 152 battles in, and that allowed it to climb higher in the ratings. And we can come in here, we'll actually come in here as Flex as well, and you can see how the earnings compare. We come up here, here's season 99, $142 in rewards, which is actually slightly less than the season before, 153. But a lot of some of that just has to do with pricing. So I earned $16.89, about 1,700 battle SPS, about 830 SPS from chest. Look at what XBOT got, 1956 and 1,000 SPS. 200 total chest, 124 champ, 76 diamond. I got 122 champ and 68 diamond. XBOT climbed to a higher rating, or a higher ranking in the leaderboard. It actually got me slightly better rewards. And again, it did have a lower win percent, but the biggest thing was it was just able to play more battles. It played more battles, and that meant it was able to gain a little more rating and gain rating faster. It got to champion a little bit earlier than I did the previous season, stuck there a little bit longer, and the champion SPS rewards, especially at the middle of the season, are very, very high. So for champion players, a lot of times that's the key. It's not even how high you can climb in champion. It's how quickly you can get to champion to take in some of those earlier rewards when the pool builds up a little bit, because there's not a bunch of players there draining the pool at the beginning of the season. Since everybody in champion falls down to diamond, you have to climb up an entire league before people can start to get those champ rewards. So that was basically the difference. Playing more battles. And you know what? XBOT will probably be able to do that even better in future seasons, because if we go over to some of the settings, I know a lot of you have wanted to see how to sign up for XBOT and that type of thing. We could kind of talk about that. But let's talk about the setting here real quick. General settings. This first one, session interval. I'll show you my entire settings if you guys want to see it too. There's not really anything special though. Season interval, 6 hours. This did not exist until just a few days ago. For most of the season, XBOT played at 24 hours. So what would happen is it would play battles, drain the ECR down somewhere between 50 and 60%, and then schedule another session 24 hours later. So it basically ended up playing like one session every 28 hours or so, which is absolutely fine, but you can actually get more battles in if you play every 6 hours or so, because overall your battles will be at a lower ECR. so you won't use as much ECR per battle, and you can then climb higher. So it doesn't necessarily give you more reward shares or give you better rewards directly, but because of the rating inflation, if you can play more battles, you can gain rating faster. I talked about how one of the biggest factors for champ rewards is how soon you get into champion. If you can play more battles, if you can get there a little bit sooner, that can give you significantly more rewards. So this could actually help XBOT maybe perform even a little bit better by taking advantage of what bots can do and playing more battles. So it'll be interesting to see if the team decides to address that or anything. But anyways, for those of you who want to know how to sign up, several people ask me, how do you sign up? What do you do? There's not much to go over, but I will go over it here real quick. On the main screen, I'm already logged in, but you have to create an account. You can either create like an email login, or I log in with a Google account, I believe is the one I use. And then you just hit login with Keychain and you'll attach your account here. Put in your username. You'll come over here to your keys. You do have to give it your posting key. Posting key isn't necessarily much of a security risk. You can't, the worst thing they could do is combine cards. So if there was to be any sort of data leak or hack or anything nefarious happened, they couldn't steal your cards or anything like that. Now you can grant it active authority. I have not done that because I don't want XBOT to rent for me. That's a new feature that they turned on, is renting. I do want to go test that. Maybe we'll have to do another test to see how the rental system works. That might be interesting to see. There's actually a bunch of tests that could be interesting to see. But if you're going to do that, I would highly recommend having a separate account set up and maybe like delegating your cards over to it, or only assigning the amount of DEC you need to be able to rent. Because there is more risk with active authority if something happened or something would get hacked or anything like that. So I would just be careful when you're doing that. Try to put as little on the account as needed, just the minimum necessarily to do that. I'll probably try that with some accounts at some point. But just some security tips that's not just with XBOT, that's with any of these services. All right, always make sure you're only using the minimum, taking the minimum amount of risk possible there when you're setting those up, just in case there's any sort of breaches. But then we can go into config, and we talked about the session interval. The top here, sending cards, if you have an alt, like you can set it to send the reward cards to a different account. You can set it to use the potions to open packs. Different ways to transfer cards between multiple accounts. So there's some interesting things there. I didn't do anything with that. So those are actually down here. If we go to the bottom, rental settings, actually no, reward settings, sorry. Reward settings, you can set it to delegate to essentially give your SPS reward. Your staked SPS can go to an alt account instead of your main account. So you can use those as well. The rental settings, again, I haven't messed with those yet because I'm owning everything. So I would like to do some tests here, but I haven't done anything there. Battle settings. Here's the limit I had. I wanted to play below 55. But it'll finish between 50 and 55 ECR. It'll finish its session between then, and then it schedules the next session 6 hours out is what I have it set to, but you can set that however you want. We played modern champ. Starter penalty. If you set the 5, it will not use starter cards. I am playing up in champ. We don't want to use starter cards, right? Especially since some of what I don't have is starter summoners. So I did not want to use those. Minimum rank, like if you're trying to climb up, this would be something that could be useful. So like if you're wanting to play in diamond, but you're starting on a new account and you want to climb through bronze, you could set this so it doesn't worry about the starter card penalty when you're trying to climb. It's just trying to gain rank as fast as possible. Quest priority, again, I just wanted to win. So I could have set it at 5 if I wanted to make sure we were trying to use teams that would take advantage of the focus and get the maximum rewards there. I just wanted to climb as high as possible, win as many battles as possible, so I ignored that. You can also refresh your quest if you get a quest that you've historically not done very well with. If you get a water quest, but you've done terrible with water cards, maybe, or with water quests, water focuses, maybe because you don't have water cards, it'll know to refresh it. So I have that turned off because I don't have it set to claim my rewards. It'll claim the rewards at the beginning of the session. Sometimes I wanted to claim them before them, so I didn't set that. So that was what I have. Really, the only thing as far as playing the battles is, do you want it to use how much do you want it to focus on starter cards, and how much do you want it to focus on your quest? Those are the two main settings. I had a maximum and minimum, and that was all we're at. It's that easy to set up. Then you just let it play. Come over here, make sure you turn it on. I don't have a token right now. I've just been using the free trial. The token sale started today. They sold out very quickly. They're going to be selling, I believe, 100 more tokens every week. So there will be more chances to pick those up. There's a few more days left to try this out. If you want to try it for free, then you're going to be required to have a token. So that's kind of some of the settings that we looked at that you can go through while we were in there. But let's get back to the questions that I kind of posed at the beginning. First question was, is this a competitor to Archmage? I think it definitely is. Is it actually better than Archmage? I don't have enough data to say one way or another. Some of these players at the top are using Archmage and they finished ahead of me. A lot of them also have more cards than I do as well. I have a lot of cards. I have a very solid deck, but I don't have all of them. Like I mentioned, I have none of the untamed rare summoners. When we were doing some testing before the season just to see if this was even worth trying, XBOT kept wanting to play some of those untamed rare summoners. It thought those were the best cards to play. I don't have them, so I wasn't always playing the optimal team because I didn't own all the cards. So I probably could have climbed a little higher if I owned everything, but I still own quite a bit. So, but my point is, it's hard to know. Are these actually climbing higher because they own all of the cards? Is there some randomness? Because there's also some XBOT accounts that are below me as well that didn't climb as high as I did. So I don't know whether to say it's better, whether it's better or worse, but I know it's at least close enough that it's going to be a solid competitor. And because XBOT does not charge any fees, they don't take a percentage of your reward fees, there's going to be a lot of people who switch over to XBOT and at least give it a try. So that'll be very interesting to see how that market plays out. And when we get bots competing against each other, what's going to happen there? Are they going to drive each other to be better and better, making these bots? Are they going to be better than humans? That was my other question. Was the bot better than me? The bot did get a little bit better rewards, but I did have a higher winning percentage. I feel like I could still outperform the bot as far as skill. And again, it was still only a small difference though with an account that I'm very used to playing, where the bot looking at all its formulas might not necessarily, like, it's weird to say it's not used to playing that account, but in a way, like, it didn't have necessarily all the ideal things it wanted to play and that its formula is looking for. But I still feel like I was better, but it was close enough that it's going to be better than a lot of players, and it might not be too far off from being better than me. Where does that leave the game? What is the Splinterlands going to do to make sure that the game is not at the top levels, most competitive levels, is not just dominated by bots and doesn't just turn into a DeFi project because nobody wants to play because the bots earn them better rewards? Are there going to be changes there? They did say that that's kind of on their roadmap now, so I'm very glad to see that's on a roadmap, because the bottom line is this bot is good. It is very, very good. And it is absolutely going to discourage people from playing. You look at those rewards. I'm going to continue to play because I love the game. I legit like playing the game. I like streaming the game. So it's not a negative for me to have to spend time playing these battles. But for a lot of people, that is like, they're trying to get return on their investment. If they don't have to spend 1 to 2 hours a day playing their battles, that's a huge positive. And they'd even be willing to maybe take slightly less rewards if they didn't have to spend time. Not everybody has that same mindset as I am, so I feel like these bots are definitely going to drive people away from actually playing the game themselves, and that's honestly not something that I like all that much, and I don't think it's something that Splinterlands really wants. So yeah, they want to be bot neutral, but I don't know if they want the bots to have this type of advantage. So I've submitted proposals before about how we can maybe help take away some of these advantages. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to do that or not. But the reality is, with what we've got now, XBOT is pretty good, and I think we're going to see a lot more people coming over. So anyways, let me know what your thoughts are. Who predicted this? Are you guys surprised that the bot got better rewards than I did? Do you want to see more? Should we set up more things like this? Should we try and set up? So I was comparing my previous season of mine to a new season. And the reality is that the seasons can change, right? You can have more or less rating inflation in a season. Sometimes some seasons are harder to win in than others. Should we set up another challenge where we set up the exact same decks playing through the same season? Me versus the bot, and instead of issuing daily reports on blog reports, we could do daily streams. Maybe even try to play against the bot. If we can align our sessions. That could kind of be interesting too. So let me know. Do you want to see more from this? Do we want to compare? Do we want to try and set up things comparing bots to renting at different levels? There's so much that we could do here, and I'm definitely curious to see the reactions of this and see if this is okay. It was fun for once, but now let's move on and go back to playing on your own account and see what you can do, or if it's let's do more of this. So anyways, as always, let me know down below in the comments. I'm definitely eager to see all of that. And how many of you are going to get a token? How many of you are going to go out and get an XBOT token and let it run? I have mixed feelings with that. Like I kind of, I don't know, I feel like I've been like championing XBOT here. And that's always kind of intriguing, but at the same time, I don't know if I want more people botting their accounts. But we'll see. I'm very curious to see how the token sales continue to do. The first one went very well. How many people are eventually going to want these? How many accounts will people set up per token? There's a lot of different things. What will this look like at lower levels? I still need to do some lower level testing. There's so much to do. So make sure you guys stay tuned. As always, follow my channel as well. Make sure you follow my Twitch account. If you guys would like to support the channel and you have Amazon Prime, a lot of people don't know this, especially those of you who don't use Twitch. You can actually go, if you have Twitch, you get a free, or if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Prime subscription that you can use to help one content creator, one streamer per month. Go sign up for Twitch. Go issue that Prime sub to my channel. That's a great way that you can support the channel without spending anything extra, without buying anything that you're not already buying. So for those of you who do that, I really appreciate it, especially now that I'm going full-time content creation. Those types of things can really make a huge difference. So thank you guys for all the support, whether it's just being active in chat, whether it's donations, subbing on YouTube, Twitch, whatever the case is. You guys are all awesome. The support has been amazing these past few weeks. I'm excited to get back to a full-time streaming, so I will see you guys over on those streams. Thanks again.